Hello, I'm Reverend Dr. Latonya Rainwater.
And I'm Reverend Dr. Elizabeth Rainwater.
And today our special guest is our mother, Elizabeth Rainwater.
Hello.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about our trip at Tulsa, Oklahoma, which took place September 27th through October 1st.
And we're going to share some childhood memories with our mom, and our mom's going to share what she remembers about us growing up and what motherhood is like and what it was like then and what it's like now. So just stay tuned. It's going to be a fun episode.
Welcome to the IMU Ministries Live, where faith meets real life stories. Join us, Reverend Dr. Latonya Rainwater and Reverend Dr. Elizabeth Rainwater, as we journey together through personal experiences and testimonies that uplift and inspire. Through the power of God's Word and the extraordinary journeys of ordinary people, we're here to remind you that you're not alone. Tune in for encouragement, empowerment, and the love of Christ. Without further delay, here is another episode.
All right. So what do we want to talk about first about our trip?
Let's talk about how we burnt up at the zoo. I don't think, was that the very first
That's
day?
yes. No, second day.
Yes. I think that's staying out of my mind the most because all that walking, you wouldn't even think that so many hours went by, but it did. And each hour that went by, we just crisp. I mean, when I literally say that I sweated from my head to my shoes, I did. I burnt up, my mom burnt up, my sister burnt up, but look at the beautiful animals and look at all this nice scenery and stuff. And I mean, I'm not about burning up. It was nice and everything to get out, but the burning up was not fun. The riding the train and the person's talking about, oh, over here we have a rhino. We have wild elephants.
But you didn't see none of that.
They're nowhere to be found. I'm looking up. I'm like, do you see it? Where is it? Nowhere until we walked around in the hot heat.
So to help you guys understand our experience at the Tulsa, Oklahoma Zoo, this is a huge zoo. Probably one of the biggest that we have ever been at, because you can walk for hours with this zoo, and they actually adding on to it. And so we spent about 3 hours in that zoo, not because we wanted to. We got lost a couple times to try to get out of there. So it is a very big zoo, and they had like this train, like Elizabeth was saying, and we thought it would be easy. Okay, let's get on a train and see if we can see more of the animals that way, because this is a huge zoo. And that didn't quite happen. We might have saw 1 or 2 animals, but this train was not something that you could take you around. Okay, let's point out this is this animal here. This is learn more about this animal here and there. It was none of that. It's just a ride for about less than 5 minutes, and that's it.
And it was moving too fast to take pictures.
Yeah,
there wasn't any wind blowing.
no.
And and not only that, while we're sitting on there, that seat in it is not comfortable. It's very small spaced, so you couldn't sit like by each other. And then before we got on the train, we decided we were gonna I think we got some popcorn. Yeah, we got some popcorn, and we didn't eat that till we got out of there, but
that popcorn was nasty, y'all. It was. You wouldn't think popcorn could be nasty, but I'm telling you right now, whatever they did to that popcorn, it was nasty.
But it's like, for me, popcorn is like my thing. Like if I'm going to movies, I want popcorn. If I went to the Shop X when we was growing up, I want popcorn. So when I see popcorn, whether it's at the zoo or a shopping center or something other, than I'm automatically like, okay, I'm gonna get that. And so you smell it. Yeah. You're smelling it. Okay, this smell like it's fresh. It look like it's gonna be good. And everything. It was just a bag of nasty.
Yeah. You would have thought it was like butter at least or something like that.
No butter.
I don't know what kind of popcorn that was.
No butter, no salt, no taste. This nasty.
No.
It was just nasty.
No. So in this trip, to help give you guys a little bit more clarity about this trip that we took, this was our first time officially in taking a trip together as three. Me and Elizabeth, we travel all the time together, but not with our mother solo. So this is our first time.
So, Mom, tell them how it was for you, and from the airplane ride to just being down there on a trip with us in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Girls' day out. it was a girl day out. I loved it. I loved it the whole trip, except for it was too hot.
Yeah, it was definitely hot. Well, what did you think about what did you think about the let's see, what did you think about the food? Because that was something that I was excited about. That was something I was excited about going down there. Everywhere we go, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the food and to taste something new. What did you think about that? I mean, let's talk about the fair. The fair is when you first officially taste the food. What'd you think, Mom?
It was terrible. It was very bad. Now, Elizabeth told me it was gonna be good, but it wasn't good at all.
I think
that's because Ty was showing all these pictures and it looked good. You know, it painted this mirage like it looked good. You got the strawberries, the whipped cream on the little funnel cakes and all that stuff. You see the foot long hot dogs, see the French fries. And sadly, by the time I got over to the French fry stand, it wasn't even that late. We don't got no more crinkle fries. We don't got no straight fries. We don't got no seasoned fries. You're gonna have to walk like 4 or 5 stations up, and I think maybe they got some curly fries.
So everybody knows when you go to like a state fair, and this was a huge fair, just like that zoo. I mean, there was hundreds of people there at this fair, and it was a huge fair. You cannot walk that whole entire lot. You just can't. It's just extremely big
and extremely hot.
So it was extremely hot in Tulsa. You got about 90 something degrees to almost 100. And so getting there, when you think of a fair, you think of candy apple, cotton candy, popcorn, chicken, French fries, tacos, pizza, all those good things.
It smelled good.
And the sad thing about it, there was a lot of areas that had food. Every food. There was not a food truck that wasn't there. And we went up to a couple of them, and we got the food thinking that, you know, you always go with something that you kind of familiar with and that you like. So I went with tacos, and oh my God, I don't know what that was. I mean, the lettuce tasted better than the rest of the stuff that was put together on that taco.
That's a shame when some lettuce tastes better than the cheese, the tomato. That's bad. And then and my sister and my mom was over there, and my mom didn't get nothing from there. But I was like, maybe I'll have a taco. But then I was indecisive. And then I was like, well, they making a Philly steak. Down there, I said, well, that looked like that's good. We get over there, and I get in there, you know, they're fixing it and stuff. And then I said, okay, I want some fries with it. You know, the way somebody makes French fries, it tell you a lot about what it's gonna taste like. Because when I looked at them French fries, when they came out, I looked at them in that little, you know, carton box thing. I looked at it and I said, oh man. This don't look like it got no seasoning. It don't look like it got no salt. It's greasy. I mean, I can see if it was greasy and flavorful. And
it didn't look fresh. It looked stale, kind of like. And get this, grills was going and fryers was going, but that didn't. Whatever came up out of grease, it was not right.
Then they put that meat on there for the Philly steak, and you know, I'm used to when we have Philly steak. You know, you got your peppers, your onions, and all that stuff. I don't know what they put on there. I don't know. I turned my head for a couple of minutes. When they was done, they was done. But then I looked at it, and when they put the cheese on it, now everybody knows they put provolone cheese on it. That wasn't no provolone.
Almost like Cheese Whiz.
That was not provolone cheese. That was something. It was just dripping off the sandwich. And I looked at that and I said, And I know people gonna think this is foul, but I couldn't really. You know, I was having me a little issues anyhow with, 'cause I had some dental work. So I was having me some issues anyhow. And so I was like, well, I can't really eat this. And I said, well, mom hadn't eaten. And so I had a little bit, but I didn't have a lot. So I was like, this kind of tastes a little funny, but I don't quite know. Maybe
she gave it to her poor mama.
maybe it's because I just can't chew right now. So I said, well, mom, you ain't ate nothing. Have this, have some fries and have this.
No.
And she said, okay. And so she got to eating. And mom, what happened?
Oh, it was terrible. It was very bad. The meat wasn't meat.
No, it was not, y'all. I looked at this meat and I knew better to even get anything like that. I looked at it, it looked like it had blue dots and stuff in it. It didn't even look like your steak or anything like that you shave steak or something like that you would normally put together with a Philly steak sandwich. It just something was off about that meat, y'all. That was a mystery meat. But
so you telling me there was some blue spots and all that stuff?
Yeah. When
I didn't see that.
When I looked down at your plate, I looked at it. That look funny. I said, that don't even look right. And it's just something odd about that meat. I mean, he was grilling, y'all. They was grilling. And smoke like sizzling smell and everything. And it came out looking like that. But anyway,
it didn't taste good neither because you were saying it was nasty and the texture of it.
The texture, something was very off about that meat.
And needless to say, I could say that we didn't get no more meals from there.
No, but we did what we did get, y'all, because we stopped eating. What we did get was like some milkshake, and then we got like a caramel apple. And let me tell y'all about this caramel apple. Now, a traditional caramel apple, I love me some caramel apple. They delicious. But so I get on back to the hotel room. I say this, I'm talking about it. I've been talking about this for months. I want a caramel apple, y'all. Usually I make them, but for time's sake, I got it from the fair. So I bring it back to the hotel. I'm like, ooh, yeah, this is my caramel apple. And I get ready, I bite in that thing. You would have thought that was fake, a fake apple. Y'all, my teeth bounced back just that quick off that apple. I couldn't figure it out. I kept trying to bite, boom, and you couldn't even bite in it. This was the hardest apple I ever ate. Try to eat. I mean, the caramel sauce just peeled right off of it. Automatically, it just peeled right off. It was the nastiest, slimiest thing I ever seen. I got mad. I threw that apple, and it cost me some money too, y'all. But that was a toe up apple.
You're listening to another episode of IMU Ministries Live. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors.
The world is as challenging as it is fascinating. And if our children are going to survive and thrive, there'll be a lot of things they'll need to learn. The Etsy Shop, ELR Shop, sell educational items for kids that will inspire and educate. They have digital coloring books, puzzles, grammar practice sheets, alphabet workbooks, and much, much more. They're perfect for parents, teachers, and homeschoolers. ELR Shop on Etsy also have lots of digital items that you can download and use right away. Watch the wheels in their minds turn as they face new challenges and puzzles. They also offer affirmation cards as well as greeting cards to inspire the adults that are having a positive impact on children. Find them on Etsy. Just search ELR Shop. That's all one word. ELR Shop on Etsy. Every day is a season of life.
And a milkshake. I asked for a cotton candy one. This one was going to work back there. Latonya had a strawberry, I think. What you had? Yeah, pink colada. What you had?
Coconut. No, she had like coconut.
Well, I asked for cotton candy, and it was a mystery to me what kind of milkshake that really was. Because when I tasted, everybody like, oh, mine's good stuff. And I said, mine's good too, but this is not cotton candy. This is something else. It's like strawberry milk and some other mystery flavor that she put in there. I just know it ain't no cotton candy. I mean, because again, some of my favorite things like cotton candy ice cream. So I'm gonna know when I'm having a cotton candy milkshake that's not cotton candy. There was no cotton candy pieces. There was no trace. It was just pink. There was no blue. There was none of it. And I said, "What is this? Like, did she what is it? I said, this is not no fair. And then we were looking around and, usually the fair is fun. It was boring.
Oh, yeah.
And so we looking around and we just like, man, we could have went somewhere else and did something else. But then we decided, well, we're going to get some tickets. And so we got some tickets to see if we want to get on a ride or anything. No. I wanted to get on something. I wanted to get on this thing that was spin you around. It didn't look like it was gonna do much. Now, Tanya picked this ride for us all to get on and stuff. And I was like, oh, that ride ain't nothing. And it was just one of the ones that go do, 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 like that. And they get in there, they buckling up. My mom's thing wouldn't go down to lock her in. And so they was messing with that, but it was locked in. And then it got going around. And I'm just like, this ride doesn't even tickle me. I'm not scared of it, nothing. And my mom and back, whoop. I'm just like, and I said, kind of rides nothing. So we get off and we have a couple more tickets. I'm like, I want to go on this. I know this one's gonna be something. And so we like, well, we're gonna go over there because Latonya looked at that too. But then she must have zoomed in with her glasses and saw that there's a little something more to this ride. And I said, well, ask the people, we ain't gotta get in there and get strapped in and then, can't get out. So we're in the line, and as people are coming out, my sister can see them in there. They ain't no straps or nothing like that. They just holding on dear life. Yeah. So if that thing crank up, then somebody might fly. If they don't hold on, they gonna fly. And but I didn't hear that part until I was standing in line. There was this young couple behind us, and the girl's like, "Yeah, I just got done eating, and I really don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna get on the ride." Said, "But I'm gonna throw up on everybody in the ride." Mm-hmm. And so when I heard that, I was like,
"Not getting on that ride."
and he's like, "Well, you don't have to get on the ride." "No, I'm gonna throw up on everybody." I was like, "No, we're exiting to the left because ain't nobody gonna throw up on me on this ride, not purposely." She was talking about doing it on purpose. I said, "What is going on here?" I said, this is the worst fair I ever been to. And then so then we come out of the fair, and thank goodness we got up out of there. We still had some time. So we get out of there, we're driving, we're going on about our way, and Latonya looks at the thing trying to figure out how to get us all the way out of there. And we're driving, and I'm like, well, there's still some time. We can go somewhere else. And my sister's like, well, where should we go? And I'm like, I don't know. I said, well, but we have time to go somewhere.
I think we were trying to go somewhere to eat, actually. So y'all, needless to say, that fair, that was a no-go. We burnt up, had nasty food and high expectations,
and left out there hungry, hot, sweaty, tired, bored, and looking for something to eat. And so we driving down the road, and we getting down the road. And Latonya didn't even have anything in the GPS to really go anywhere yet. She was trying to figure it all out. And then we just driving.
On the highway, y'all. We heard a loud noise as if we literally had a car accident. It was just that loud, like the whole car was total.
Like as if I hit a wall on there. Now this car that we had rented, it was so technical that, if you were near a wall, it was like warning, you get too close, it would make noise. I was never near a wall. There was nothing on the ground, and the car was just that technical. It'd tell you if something's in the ground. And it just went pow. And so I'm looking, I said, what? I said, I didn't hit anything. I ain't hit anything. So then we're panicking because we like, surely it just surely the whole door's tore off.
Yep.
Like the door's tore off. I'm just like, this is madness. Like I done had bad food. I burnt up. And I'm like, and now the car tore up. What are we gonna do now? Everything just going down to pieces.
So we heard this loud, big noise as if we got in a really bad wreck. And it was like, boom. And then that car, like, it's almost like something blocked it, like protected us, because it just bounced back just like that. And we look at, like she said, the car was so technical. It said 0%. 0%, y'all. So we knew if we didn't get off that highway, or at least find a place safely. And Tulsa highway is crazy. They drive crazy.
And the roads is funny. Like a lot of them was one way. A lot of them you could only make turns. You couldn't go straight, so you couldn't really tell. A lot of the times I ended up on the wrong side of the road and stuff, and had to turn around. And that was hard because we never seen no streets designed like that.
Yeah. The gas station, let me tell y'all, the gas station did not exist at all around there. We had to drive miles away from that hotel in order to find one. And thank God, God actually protected us, because before we went to that fair, we got a tank of gas. And then we went to that fair, and then we had this accident. So we managed to get off the highway, and thank God, we was thinking that we was far away from that hotel and couldn't make it there with the car. Thank God that it was like literally 3 or 5 minutes away from that hotel. So we managed to take that car on 0% down to the garage of the hotel. Now, as we driving it there, people are looking and pointing, and I'm like, oh my God, must be some serious damage to this rental. And so when we finally was able to park it, God made it so that we was able to park the vehicle, y'all, on the 3rd parking ramp of the garage. And when we got out, there was no damage to this car except for the passenger side up front, where the tire had blew out. Now, get this, ladies and gentlemen, this tire, I have pictures of it. It looked like somebody literally took a knife or something and cut up this tire really bad. That's how damaged it was. And so we tried to get in contact with the car rental. They was not picking up no phone. So we kept trying. About 7 o'clock at night, we was able to talk to somebody and get them there. And when the person did come, they looked at it and they said, oh my God, said this tire is damaged. So they take it off and they put the donut up there, and they said the same thing is going to happen. You can't travel that far with this donut. So we left that car there.
So then what happened is that I had called my dad, and I was telling him about it. And then when the car got the donut on it, he said, look, since it's gonna do it again, he said, if it was me, he said, I would take it back to the airport and tell them that, hey, you can have this car. I'll just figure out how I'm gonna get to where I'm going and stuff. I wouldn't keep driving around because something else could happen. And so we took it back the next day. We got up early, took the car back, and then we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. But before we took the car back, that same night after the person fixed it, we were looking for something else to do. So we realized, God kept telling Tanya that the shuttle can take you places.
Didn't even know the hotel was shuttling people around the whole entire town.
Tanya, the shuttle us can shuttle you around. We was in residency, they had a shuttle. We never got on it. We, like I said, we were looking out the window. We went overseas, didn't ask about a shuttle. So we was in the hotel walking around. But there is shuttles, people. So that you can ask about. You can ask about a shuttle. You don't have to wonder how long it's gonna take me to get somewhere, or if I can go.
We just thought it was something where somebody might have dropped somebody off to the hotel and back, and that's it. We did not realize that shuttle actually took you a lot of different places where to eat and all that thing. So we bumped into somebody that actually drove the shuttle, so he actually explained that process.
That was you.
Well,
that the shuttle don't take nobody nowhere. I kept telling you, I said, Taya, the shuttle will take us where we want to go. But no. But the shuttle took us, like she said, we bumped into a nice man, and we asked him, well, what's good around here? What's good to eat? Because, as late as it was, we were saying ourselves, it could possibly be anywhere to eat. And so he was telling us all these places that we could eat at and everything. I was kind of thinking to myself, he had said something about the Italian restaurant. I kind of wanted some of that. But then he was talking about the Southern cooking and stuff. And I was just like, I was thinking in my mind that I hope it's not the Southern cooking that I tasted at fair. People tell you that something tastes good and they ate there and oh, it's a popular restaurant and everything, but that don't mean nothing to me, because if it don't taste good, then I'm still gonna be hungry because I'm not gonna eat it. And but he took us, it was way downtown, and he took us there, and we come in there, we walked in there, and I felt like we stepped back in time. And I can honestly say that, it wasn't because of it wasn't because of the people or anything like that. It's just that, we had just come from a very refreshing conference, like at least a week prior. We come from that. So, it's like when you step out of a conference or somewhere and you've been spending time with God, it's like, wow. And so when we step into the restaurant, you hear,
yeah, they had every music you can think of.
Every old song that you probably heard before or anything like that. And, I don't know of too many Christians that have not. Some people, it's just like, oh, okay. But some of us, we get in a place we're like, I don't listen to that no more. What's this? You don't got gospel? What is this? Oh, I'm uncomfortable. And because you like, you looking, and then you looking at everybody in there and stuff, and you just like, people looking at you. Like I said about that looking, people looking at you, and it's like, you don't belong in here. They all just turn and look at it. It's just like, is it safe in here? Is it safe in here to get some of this Southern cooking? And we sat there and everything, and there was some very nice people in there that talked to us about the food and everything. And for the most part, it was all right. It was all right. Can't say I can't fully remember the food. It was all right.
It was catfish, y'all. They had some catfish.
That was good, but sometimes this slip your memory. It ain't nothing, it stick. It tasted good. But then I had some okras, and they called it charred okras, and they were good. But when you got down to like the last couple of pieces, my mom will tell you about that. What was that, Mom?
I don't know what that was. But after a while, it didn't taste good.
I didn't even know what charred okras was, but because it was okras, I was just like, okay, I'll maybe somewhere up there with fried, I don't know.
Well, I never had them before.
That wouldn't be nothing I ate. I did not eat anything like that, because the way I look at anything that's charred, I think of it as burnt. So I wouldn't be paying nobody to burn my meal.
But you know what? I think that you only got the little old plate because you was trying to play it safe. Like, if this nasty, right. I got a smaller thing on the menu, and I'm just gone out of here. Yep. But we got us full out meal. Me and my mom got a full out meal, and like I said, is that it was good for the most part.
But we also got a chance to go to we did go to an Italian restaurant, but it was more like a pizzeria, like a pizzeria. Now, oh my God, y'all, that pizza! I'm a pizza fanatic.
That pizza was dreamy.
And so anywhere I travel, I have to have pizza. I have to know what is the best pizza that they have in their state or overseas.
And sometimes it was not the best choice for you.
Yeah, sometimes.
But for me, if I go anywhere, I try to get apple pie. Apple pie is my thing. But with how nasty things was down there, I wasn't about to risk myself with anybody's apple, nothing, except I went to that last restaurant, and we'll get on to what happened with that. I was tricked, because I still believe, and I say it still now today, Spain has the best apple pie, and I stand by that. I stand by it. I had many slices of different kinds of pies down there, and hands down, there wasn't one pie that I didn't like. So I just say that some of these states need to get together.
But they
You
had
get it.
so at this pizzeria, oh man, this pizza was extremely good. And then they had like these garlic knots, and it's kind of not like what we're used to in our state, like the regular garlic knot. Everything was homemade.
Oh, Tanya, you mean frozen box?
Yeah, everything was actually custom and homemade in that restaurant. So it's like tasting something brand new, and I mean it was delicious. We ate everything except for the olive oil. So it was it was very good. And then we went to, so in the hotel we kept looking, and there was actually a restaurant in there, and it actually was some good food in there. I cannot remember. Oh yeah,
Ooh, yeah,
I had some salmon, some spinach, and something else.
That was in there. Oh yeah, that was in there, right?
Yeah, that was in the
Now what they do to your spinach? Because I saw that go bad.
Oh y'all. So as I said in a couple episodes back, I like to cook, so I know when something isn't quite right. And so I got to eating that spinach. I said, wait a minute, too much oil, and also too much salt. When I tell you this spinach was the most saltiest thing I ever, I felt like a Morton box of salt was literally poured into that spinach bowl. And he bought me a big bowl of it. And I love spinach. But I said, wait, he looked, he said, how do you like everything? I said, this is salty. So
I said Popeye to sell about it anymore.
So he takes it back, and then they bring it back, got a new one. It's still salty. I don't know what in the world they cooked it in, but it was extremely salty. But I other than that, I had a decent meal because I love salmon. And then I had this carrot cake. Oh my God, y'all, if I could just get a whole thing of that down there. They cooked that to perfection. And
y'all two had that.
Yes,
what you thought about that cake, Mom?
It was good. It was good.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. I like to bake a lot, so that actually was something I enjoyed. You know, because I like to play around with your traditional cakes and things and give it a new spin. So I actually enjoyed how they kind of twisted that carrot cake.
Well, that somebody twisted mine too, because I looked at the menu and I saw some with apple in it, and I thought it was sort of like a strudel or something. When the man came back, when he came with my stuff, first of all, it wasn't like a little portion, it was humongous. It was
apple
big,
crisp. I think it's an apple crisp.
There was no crisp in that. There was no apple, there was no crisp, there was no. It tasted like it was worse than a health bar. Really. It was worse than a health bar. It was dry. The apples, I don't know if it was not fresh. All I know is that it wasn't
canned apples.
Canned, unfresh. It wasn't good. It was nasty. And I love apples. They made me not want no apples anymore. The crust was nasty. There was no cinnamon. There was none of that. And then they had the audacity to put some cream on top and a side of ice cream too. And I'm like, well, maybe this will help it or something else. So I take it and I kind of mix the cream, and I said, still nasty. And because I was trying to be polite and everything, when the man came back by, he was like, so how y'all enjoying it? I only had one scoop at it, just one little half a spoon at it, because I was just like, no. Because I had tasted twice, because I was like, is this really what I'm tasting? It's nasty. And so he's like, how's that? I'm like, everything good. You know, it's all good. You know, the pasta was delicious. Me and my mom had the same pasta. It was very good. But I said, it's all right, you know. And he looked down at the plate, and he said, girl, quit playing. Say, you know, you don't say, you know that apple dessert is nasty. So, you know, you don't like that. Said, because if it was all right, half of it be gone, or you won't take it with you. Say, you know, you didn't like that. Say, I'm going to take that off your bill. And I said, well, thank you. I said, he ain't have to, you know, okay, whoever it was, they thought they was doing something. So I just didn't want it, but I said, hey, that's nice of him to have done that, because he was like, you did not enjoy it. So, you know, I'm going to take that away. And, you know, typically people wouldn't take that away. You got something nasty, you just had to deal with it, or you just send it back, and maybe something good might come back out, but I doubt that one.
So if y'all haven't caught on just yet, we are very much foodies. So we love to try different types of food and everything. And some food was okay down there, and then some food no. So we went to the grocery store, y'all, and found what we found, that we liked, and had some of that. But we also went to a space, a NASA kind of museum, which was an awesome museum. It was awesome to see the history about people in space. The Tuskegee Airmen, the exhibit for that was awesome. So we have pictures on that. And we saw all of the uniforms, and they talked about their institute, where the school they had. So it was just a lot of awesome things to see that history. I think we also went to, let's see. So we went to Tulsa. So we went to the zoo. We went to the museum and some couple other places. But
then you said that you wanted to said okay, they because the car was just completely Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Then my sister had this grand idea. I ain't never been to a play. And when I think about a play, I think about when I was a kid, and my teacher now took all the students to see Charlie Brown or something else. And all I think of is that this is gonna be boring. But then, when she said, okay, it's gonna be this is this is gonna be interesting, because it's your your favorite childhood cartoon coming to life on the stage. And I was like, okay, well, long as some people can sing and entertain you, because they can't entertain you within a couple of seconds, then it's just like, my money, it's gone. But but let me tell you, first of all, it was hard to get. We had to, so we walked across there to it. We had to go through security.
Mm-hmm.
And after we got through security, then we had to find the ticket booth and stuff. And my sister said, oh, what are y'all playing and stuff? What do you got stuff? And he's like, we got Aladdin, and we got this, and we got that. My sister's like, ooh, I ain't seen that. Y'all want to see Aladdin? And so we said, yeah. So I'm looking, the lady pulled up this screen that got all the seating and stuff like that on there. I'm looking, and my sister, she all up at the screen. I said, wait a minute, Tanya. I said, wait a minute, Tanya, what? Wait a minute, where's it? We gonna have to get whatever they got left. Like, no, we don't.
Elevate your connection with God like never before. Introducing the extraordinary I Am You Ministries Institute, where personal and spiritual growth are empowered. Whether you're aiming for self-improvement, or to earn a certificate and a diploma, or just to increase your biblical knowledge, we've got you covered. Our courses are conveniently accessible from the comfort of your own home. Join us at the I Am You Ministries Institute and embark on a life-changing educational journey that will deepen your relationship with God. It doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mom or a thriving entrepreneur. We have something tailored just for you. Additionally, at I Am You Ministries Incorporated, we offer exclusive mentorship programs for military personnel, students, and those seeking biblical principles for psychological well-being. Don't miss out on our captivating literacy programs for children, complete with engaging activities, fascinating stories, and the opportunity to have us as motivational speakers.
I said, what they got there? Where that at? Is it on the floor? Is it in the air? Is it in the middle? Got to buckle up. What is this? And so all I know is that them tickets got booked so quick. And I was looking, and she was looking too, and I was like, where is this? And so then we had to go on up the elevator. We got up there, and we walked through the doors, and I'm like, they said this going to be up on this floor. I said, that don't sound like that's on the flow. I said, where is this going to be? So it's the balcony. So we get in there. Now they got to use their little flashlight to show you around where you going stuff. And I'm looking, and they like, oh, yours is right down there. And I'm like, 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, keep going. We one seat from the tip of that balcony. And I looked, and I said, no way. I said, no way. Ain't no way I'm sitting here. So then Latonya, my poor Tanya. She gets that like, she looking at me like, don't be showing out in here. And I'm looking, and I hadn't even begun to look around and everything. All I'm caring about is this seat here. And you know, if you get Bigfoot or anybody running around in there stuff, it's gonna shake that floor stuff. And people just boom, 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 walking as hard as they can and all this stuff. I'm not feeling it. I felt like something was shaking and everything else. And so I get in there and she sit down before us. Now, how you gonna sit down before us and you at your seat right there as we get out? You the first seat. And then come me, then come my mom. She sat down. She got in, sat down. And then I get in, I sat down. Then my mom scooch on by me and she sat down. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this and I'm just like, and then I lean back. And then I looked up there and I looked, it's like I could see the drop. I said, there's a drop. I said to myself, Lily, I said, I'm going to die. I said, I'm going to die. And I said to myself, this is why you're going to die. Because number one, the floor, it don't, you know, this thing, it feels shaky, but really it was me shaking too, because I was scared. And I said, look at that big old drop down there. I'm like, I can't see what's going on stage. And I'm way up here. I was frightened. And then I know how my sister is. Now, Latonya, you know, like I said, no basketball, no frisbee, no soccer, none of that. Don't have her do none of that. So I said to myself, if this girl make one wrong move, we all done. It's over. The trip is over. I said, because she got to come out first. And so what if I make the wrong move? There's a little bit of space, you know, down there. You fall, you done. And so I was like, no, ain't no way. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I said, Latonya, I said, I don't want to sit here. I said, I can't sit here. I can't do this. And she looks at me. Just sit back. You better stop. Just sat back. I'm like, oh no. No. Tanya, she said that next thing I know, Taya brought up she done brought up all the things that's gonna happen in the place. She like, I don't know her. She's sitting there reading, looking. I said, Taya. Taya. She just reading and stuff. So then I said, oh, okay. And I said that, I said, I can't sit here. I can't sit here. And I'm just hand deep within me. Get out of this seat for this play start, because you know you're going to have yourself a fit. And I'm sitting there shaking and shaking, shaking. So then I leaned over there with my mom. See, I knew I could get her. I'm like, if anybody going to get somebody out of this seat in there, it's going to be my mom. So then I don't know if anybody's seen that movie Powder. But, he had all these little powers and stuff like that. And he'd make them feel what he feeling or whatever stuff. My goal was to make her feel what I felt, because Taya wasn't feeling me. And so I looked over there and I reached over there, because I had my little shaky hands, and I put my hand on my mama. I said, Mama, look at that drop. I said, do you see that drop? I said, and Mama, I said, my heart's pounding, Mama. I said, oh, I'm just going to die. I can't say it. She's like, this calm down. Mama, do you feel it? She's like, oh, stop.
She said, Mama, did you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel what I feel? And I sat there a minute.
She got looking around. She's like,
I saw it.
no.
I saw that drop. Okay,
She felt what she felt. She saw what she felt.
She's like, oh no. She said, you done messed me up. She said, get up and leave. Get up now. And Tanya, Tanya, get up now. No, she ain't gonna move. We said, get out of that seat. So she get up. They ain't gonna give no refund this. You know how much these seats said, you let me not get another seat. I want to see this. I want to see this. Like, why you do this? And I said, look, I know. Get out of here, because if I don't get to see Aladdin, I'll get to see Abu.
No, I didn't, y'all.
Get to see old Jafar now. She was I'm getting me. And so we get down there. She like, you better hope they take them tickets. And so she get down there. I'm like, I know my Jesus. I'm like, he gonna give us a refund. And so she get up there and she like, look, and she put it all on me too. She's like, look, we had seats and we got up there, and my sister, she just can't sit there. She's terrified. She's really terrified. She ain't gonna sit there. She's not gonna sit there. And I'm back there like this. Mind you, we're off the balcony, but I'm still like, oh no, no problem. I'll get you some more. Just give me a minute. And then and then she looked. We got the floor seat. I said, "This is good." Tiny look, and I'm still shaking. And I'm like, "Well, we got floor seats. You know, them those floor seats, they cost more than sitting in that balcony."
Yeah,
and I was
think
how
so.
that balcony is so terrifying. You thought, you know, back in the day when they sit there and listen to the opera, that's gonna cost more money. But it was like, you know, you got your $30-$40 and stuff. But then when you get down to the bottom, they want $100-some, they want $80, they want $90 and stuff. But needless to say, we got them floor tickets.
Mhm.
And we got to see it. And the cast was phenomenal. They could really sing. I mean, them people could sing. That was like one of the best things out of what Latonya picked. It wasn't a hot zoo. It was not. What else was hot? The zoo. I just remember heat. Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
zoo fair.
the zoo, the fair. I said, you making up for all this. Cause you know that this was great. This was good here. The plays was good. And so went to that one. And then the next day we went to another play called Beautiful, about a true story about a person that wrote all these Carole King. They wrote all those old beautiful songs and stuff. We went to that one. Mm-hmm. And so we went to that. Now that was what I really liked about that play was just the singing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't acting. It was the singing.
Mm-hmm.
It was the singing for me. But I said when I get out here, I said I'm gonna be very honest. The ones that play the drifters.
Oh
No.
my.
No, I mean,
tried it.
they're nice people.
They tried it.
But no, you're not no drifter or no swifter. It didn't sound good. But the one played Carole King, keep on doing that because she could sing. And the ones that were singing with her and stuff, they sounded good. But them drifters, no.
It was the only thing that didn't make sense.
And this is what really messed me up is that, okay, so there was a lot of people in there. It was more of an older audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so they look, the ones play the drifters, they look and they like, oh, young faces. And we sit right smack at the stage.
Yeah.
So
right at the
and they
stage.
decided, this one decided, oh, I'm gonna perform right on over there in front of them. I'm gonna do my little twist and all this stuff. I said, no, please, no. No, please go back. Go on back. Like this doesn't sound good. And you know, this don't put you know, your act and everything on here. No, don't do that. And it's kept on with that eye contact throughout the whole thing. I felt like pulling my hood up over my head. At some point, you know, I think I got really extremely tired. Everybody's trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I think I went comatose because, you know, them drifters, they had a lot of singing parts in there, and I just I drifted. I drifted away. But and what was it? Oh my goodness. Before when Tanya booked the plane tickets, we were supposed to be on this more spacious plane.
But
the plane, it was
so the plane, y'all. This was the tiniest plane I ever been on. Because I booked a lot of our flights. And so when I tell you it's so tiny, when you walk down the aisle to go find your seat on that plane, you hitting people from the left to the right, to the left, to the right. So you hitting people. Go. I mean, literally. And that's how tight of this walkway is. And
look, and I've been trying to figure out that, you know, for all time I got on the plane, this had to be the worst first class that I have seen. They were so proud, and they were so proud to be in them seats. I said
that didn't look like.
I said, look here, I ain't never rode first class. I'm sure it's pretty in some planes, but I ain't never rode first class. I like my economy or whatever I get. One of these days I might be able to ride first class. But I looked at first class when we got in there. I said, That looked like
I
half
hope
a,
nobody didn't pay a whole bunch for
that
that.
looked like half a couch seat with just some bad cushion and stuff to it. And they sitting there like,
It was
yes.
toe up.
They like, yes, we in first class. I said, I'll take the economy back here because my cushion looked more soft than where you sitting. And
Yeah,
you know,
that plane was so old. That plane was so old, it didn't have where you can plug up your headphones to listen to any music, watch any TV or anything. Everything you just looking in the windows, y'all. We barely had any windows on that plane. Now, that was sad.
And then when we got on there, I was like, we was tired. Okay. The airport is big. We had been rushing and all this stuff. And so we get to the airport, we get done getting our stuff, going in the, little shopping areas and stuff. And so you sit down and when you get on the plane, so you look at it, you like, okay, if your seat is C1, C2, C3, or whatever stuff, everybody see what their numbers is, stuff before they get on the plane. Everybody sees it. So we get down there, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I can't wait to just sit down in this little tiny seat. And then, I'm like, I can't wait to get there. So I get up there and I'm looking. I'm like, Tiny, where's seat? She like, we almost there. I'm looking. All I see is heads. And so our heads and bodies. And I'm just like, and she like, it's right here. And I look at the thing. I'm like, C1, 2, 3. I'm looking. And I'm like, and I might have stayed a little calmer, but I was tired. My feet hurted from the zoo, the fair, and stuff. I mean, I'm still recovering. And so I looked and I said, all of a sudden it just slipped out of my mouth. One of y'all sitting in my seat. I said, y'all sitting in our seat. I said, Tanya. I said, get the flight attendant. I said, get them, Tanya. I said, they can come out.
That's how small it was.
I said, get them.
Once you get to your seat area, and we saw that a couple people sitting in our seats like that, you could not back up. You couldn't go forward. So you just stuck. And
I
so
said, get them. And
it was just saying,
well, how we gonna get them? I said, you're in the wrong seat. And then the man come up there, he's like, come forward, just wait a minute and stuff. I'm like, oh, what, you gonna give them our seat? What we gonna sit? We gonna ride on y'all? And so he just come forward, I'll go figure it out. So then he go up there and ask the woman, what number is yours? And we like, well, we know what number ours is. And so the woman, oops. And then the other person, they heard them got out of it. They didn't even have to ask them. They squoze up out of that seat and got where they were supposed to go. They hear it up. And my mama's husband wasn't taken, but ours was. And so the other lady, she's still just sitting there eating her tater chips and stuff. And we just looking. And then the man said, ma'am, what's your seat number? She said, rolled up her potato chips. And then she said,
roll 10D.
She said, oh.
She didn't roll 11D.
She said, oops. And then, so then the flight attendant says, girl, it's okay. Said that, said you probably wouldn't know if you weren't eating them chips. Said you got caught up in them chips, didn't you? Said you was hungry and you just sat out there. She's like, right. She's like, I know, right? I'm like, lady, please. I'm like, please take the potato chips, get in your seat. I'm tired. I mean, they have themselves a good old time stuff. I'm just like, what a trip. What a trip. And then we get back and Latonia's like, I'm planning the next one. I said, well, you plan it minus the heat. You plan it minus the heat. You plan it minus the tight seats. You plan it minus the nasty food. I'm never going to another fair. You plan it where I can see some more plays and stuff like that. I can do that. But I said that walking and all that stuff. Oh, and thank the Lord we didn't make it to the Botanical Gardens.
Oh, we would have crisped by that time. Nah, that was on my list.
She was about to say our list. That was on her list. I would like to see the pretty flowers and everything like that, but burnt me up so bad. It burnt me up so bad. I had curly hair. I had curly hair. It was becoming straight. It was straightening out, and I was just like, no way. I said, it's hot out here. Don't no more trips like that. But like I said, So I know I plan some things. We just don't know what's gonna happen. In planning it, we don't never know.
So we get back, we get to the Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport, which is the biggest airport for Georgia. And so we get back there,
and we looking for Dad.
and
We look for our dad. He came to pick up all of us, and we look for him. We like, Ty's like, he said he here. Where? She's like, he said he here. And then we look at it, we look for a good 5 minutes.
Yep.
And then we see him. He said, hey, he said, I parked somewhere real good.
No, he didn't, y'all. No, he didn't. So all that walking, that whole entire trip, we was up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. in the morning, and then always constantly walking. And that seems to happen on the trips that I take them on. We do a lot of walking. And this time I kind of overdid it. So by the time we got to the Hartsfield Jackson Airport, we could barely pull that luggage because we were just that tired.
You was barely pulling. I was trying to help her pull her luggage. She on the tip of her
she
toes.
pulled me in the luggage.
She on the tip of her toes like a ballerina talking about some, I'm coming. She just dragging her luggage. My mom halfway down there, and we got down there, and then my dad was looking. He's like, "It's down here." So we step out, and it's hot still. So we step out, and then we like, okay. So he said the car over here. So we get down there. It says we in row E, and my dad walked down to a point. He's like, I don't see the car.
I mean, it's like thousands of cars. And so he's looking, he went from the row he had a ticket on, couldn't find a car. And in his car, see, our car is different. His car, you can't click it and hear a noise or anything. That he didn't do none of that, y'all. Mm-hmm. And so he walked all over that place.
Because I looked, he was in row E, and that fella, he down there in F. Then he in Z, then he done turned over here, look for the car. He's like,
so I got to thinking, I kept hollering. I'm like, did you go all the way down in that row that you said that the car was parked? Y'all, nah, he ain't go all the way down. So I take my luggage, I go all the way down, find the car, and wait. Hello, it's right here, y'all. Let's go. He's like, I didn't see that. We was out there for some time. We had to call the people, and they called the people to try and help. But I found that car because I'm like, he couldn't have went all the way. Hold that.
And then it was hot, and it was hot. And when you get in that, and when you get in that car, air ain't coming no time.
No,
so
not coming.
It ain't coming no time. So in fact, it's gonna hit the people in front first. Mm-hmm. So you gotta keep saying, turn it this way or turn it that way, so I can just get a little of cold air. It's hot. And everything, you just gotta sit there and you gotta think happy thoughts, because you're gonna burn up for a good couple of minutes till it decides it's gonna give you something. But needless to say, like I said, is that it was an interesting trip for all of us, and
there was some highs and there was some lows. There was a lot of we took a lot of pictures, so you could see a lot of funny things that happened during that trip and everything. So it was the first time of all of us come together, and short, it's not the last, but that it was a very interesting trip. But before we go, we have our mother talk a little bit about us and motherhood a little bit. Not me. I don't have any kids. No, but she can talk about that.
I don't got none either, but I consider my dogs. My dogs is my babies. They my babies. I used to say that way before I got in my 20s. Before I got my 20s, sitting in the 20s, that if I heard that I no, couldn't hear that. Don't mean that nobody don't want any or nothing like that. It's just that, yeah, we'll talk about that another time. But this
no. Okay, so
but I did, but the reason why we invited our mother on here is this, so everybody, not just so everybody can see my mama's lovely face, but so that our mother could talk about her experience with being a mother, and some memories that she had with us. We started out with the Tulsa, Oklahoma one. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do that later, but that one came out first. But so the thing about it is that we just want her to share some things about what she was thinking and what she thought and stuff when as having us as her daughters, and what it was like having just having daughters, just having kids in general and stuff, and some of the memories that she had with us. She can talk about that one by one, because I'm sure you got some fond memories of both of us and stuff, and that we may not even remember. And then some of it we may remember, but I'm gonna let you take that away, because Latonya was the first one. So just tell us what that was like, being a mother. What did you think about being a mom?
Well, I was kind of afraid, because when you're having your first child, sometimes you are a little bit afraid, because, being pregnant and, not knowing too much about what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember when the doctors told me, they said I might have her early. And I was really afraid then. I was like, man, what am I gonna do? And I started praying and asking the Lord to help me, because they wanted to do a C-section, and I wanted her to come the way she's supposed to come. And the good Lord blessed me that she did come the way she should come, because I remember holding on to this young lady's hand as I was getting ready to have the baby. I rolled her hand so tight to the point that she almost passed out.
Oh, Lordy.
And I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "Yeah, I'm okay." She said, "It's all right." But I could tell it would. That's how tight I had her hand.
That's how we got them iron grips. Today we got a good grip.
But moving forward, and then I brought my baby home, and that was Latonya. She was the first one, and so I brought her home, and she ended up getting sick because I let somebody's little boy hold her, and when the little boy held her, he had a cold or something going on, and she ended up getting a virus. And she was over there, laying over there, and I was on the phone, and I looked, and she wasn't breathing. And I was like, oh, man. And so I ran and got the phone, called the ambulance. The ambulance wouldn't come, because they was like, you can come up the road. It's just right there around the corner.
Okay.
They said, it's just right around the corner. You can walk. I said, I'm not walking. I said, she literally wasn't breathing. So I heard God's voice say, put my finger in her mouth and pull her down on her tongue. And when I did, she took a puff of air. And they told me, go get a neighbor to bring me. So I went and got a neighbor, took her up to the hospital. Sure enough, she had it there and there. She had it there and there. And but it was all right. God brought us through that. Then moving forward, when she was little, I think she was about 1 year old. Me and her was laying in the house sleep, and I had locked the ring door, but I had left the door open, and so we sleep. I get up, the baby gone. Couldn't have been no more than about 1, and I'm looking around in the whole house. I was like, baby, where are you? and didn't say nothing. And so I called my husband, and I said, Tim, I said, I can't find the baby. I said, she's gone. He said, what you mean she's gone? I said, well, we were laying on the couch sleep. When I woke up, she was gone. And he said, well, I hope you have her by the time I get home. And I was like, oh, man. So I kept walking through the house, and I was praying and crying and stuff. Then I came out of one of the rooms and looked right down. I saw a little head peek up out of a pamper box. The box was kind of tall back in them days, and she stuck her head up and laughed at me. And I looked, and I wanted to go and spank her, but then I was so happy to see her. All what I could do was then grab and hug her.
I wore her out.
I felt like wearing her out, but I
got us.
I was just so happy to know that my baby was still there and nobody came in the ring door and took her.
Mhm.
Because some people they can cut the ring out and come in. The ring door was locked, but there wasn't no glass up there. So they could have very well came in, but thank God that nobody came in.
Mhm.
And then one time, Elizabeth, I remember we was at the schoolhouse waiting on her sister, and she was out there. She was out there playing around in the playground. She wanted to go to school too, and I told her she was too little. She can't go to school right then. So she was out there playing, and she just stood there and made this face. And I still have the picture. I gotta find the picture. That way y'all can see it one day. I gotta find that picture.
She had like these poop balls on her head. I mean, that
She
thing was.
did.
She made this toe up. It was the funniest thing ever, y'all. But Elizabeth, she did some stuff growing up. I'm telling you, she used to I remember this one time, a memory when we was younger. Our parents told us to go and put the dishes up and clean the dishes. Elizabeth had some stockings on, y'all, and she thought it'd be cool to do the moonwalk in some stockings. I looked at her, I said, "Don't do that." I said, "This is ceramic plate, and you trying to moonwalk with ceramic plate." I said, "Something's gonna happen here." Now I went Tanya, and sure enough, she mooned her walk back, and toe. I think she either
broke my toe.
broke her toe.
broke
Yeah,
my
she broke
toe.
her toe. And my dad's like,
But he
"How in the world did it happen?"
didn't even realize that had happened. But whenever, but what he was thinking about that day before was the plate. He was thinking about the plate. He wasn't thinking about my toe. He was thinking about my
he didn't
plate.
think
He
it
was
was
thinking about
that
that
bad.
plate because he was like, he always said, "Don't be in there playing around up there," because there was always like this counter that you eat on in these military units and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we got a home in Arizona, we had that counter, the same kind of counter. And I was just a twisting and everything, and I fell in them stockings. And I tore that foot up. And so when he come in there, he's just like, "What was you doing?" And my poor sister Tanya, I told her I told her don't be doing that. But she did it anyway. And then I got spanked.
But I was in the living room, I think.
Yeah.
And I heard it go crunch. I heard her
Yeah.
toe
That was
all the
toe.
way
That
in
foot
the
was toe.
living room. I heard that. And I said, "Nah, it's broke."
Well,
I just knew it.
Daddy didn't hear it go crunch.
Mm-mm.
He heard his
No, he
heard his ceramic plates.
Yeah.
He heard his ceramic plate.
Yeah, 'cause she broke up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and so I got spanked for that. But the next day that I got up, I couldn't get my foot in the shoe. And so the toe was broke. And so he's just like shaking his head like. And then he took me there. They gave me a boot. They gave me a boot for that one toe. And I was just tense and I couldn't remember. And because he felt bad because I got that spanking. And I was hurt. And I was crying, sniveling all the place. My daddy carried me everywhere to kindergarten and say, toted me in, toted me out, helped me to the car. And when my toe got a little bit better, I was still, he'd be like, you still hurt? Because I'll think about that spanking. And I said, well, by the time they say this boot come off, then it's gonna be a surprise. But I did do that. I did do that. But Tanya did some stuff too. Like Tanya like scalloped potatoes. Tanya like scalloped potatoes. So she would, when my mom would make them, and she'd make it and it'd be on the plate. And then we look up and I ate mine. And I looked and I said, I know I ate it. And Latonya wait till I be playing around stuff and stepped away. And she put hers in mine. And my daddy was like this, is that you're not leaving that area till you eat all your food. And I was almost done. But then I looked and I said, where these come from? And I'm like, and everybody know how scalloped potatoes taste. you know, sometimes me they were all right, depending on what I had with them. But if that was the only thing left on that plate, it was misery. Everybody knows that you ate everything around it but them, and she don't scoop them all, put them in my plate. And so I said, can I looked and I said, and I said, I'm full. Can I go? Nope. And Tyler like, well, I'm gone. She gone. She go get cleaned up stuff. She gone. Went to bed. I said, Tanya. I said, did you put that in there? No. And I said, Daddy, I can't eat no more. You better eat that. We don't waste food around here. We don't waste food around here. And I gotta hear the whole story about why we don't waste no food. We don't waste no food around here. I didn't get to get those when I was growing up. So I gotta sit down like, I think somebody put these here. Like you a kid and you say to yourself, I know I've been set up. And it took a couple of times. And one time I was in there, I was twisting and playing around stuff, but I caught outside my eye, scraping them taters in there again. I said, oh no. I said, oh no, you get your little nasty taters up out my plate. You get them up out my plate. I sat there all night. Do you know? It didn't matter where my daddy had to go. He said that all night. Waiting on me to eat whatever I didn't like to eat. He sat there all night waiting on me to eat that. Then he say, wrap it up.
Yeah. He
just wrap it on up. I was mad. But I caught her one day. She was scraping them taters and I said, Ty, you can get them taters on back on out of there because them yours. I'm done today. And that because they call me Missy. And she please, I do something for you. Yeah, please give me them potatoes, please. I was like, no, you don't even want it. You don't even want it. This gonna take me a minute to get my mind in another place to eat these potatoes. No, please. When we go to the shop, I'll get you a snack. I don't know why I fell for that because, but I said, okay, because when we were growing up, I was on the way. But I fell for it. I was like, okay, I eat them, but you know, yeah, cause like I said previously, Tanya had the music, she had her Barbie dolls, and all that stuff, and so the only one had they self what I call the rainy day savings was me. So really, the joke was on me with them taters and whatever else I ain't want to eat.
Okay, so let's talk about before we have to get going. But let's talk about what was one of the favorite things that on that trip that you guys enjoyed.
I enjoyed the plays. I enjoyed both of them. That was the most thing that I enjoyed the most, and I enjoyed most also was being with you and Latonya, you and Missy. I enjoyed being with you two because we never really spent time like that together. And so being that it was a first time thing for me, I really enjoyed it.
And she sure did, y'all. She sure did.
And going back a little bit, I was gonna say also when I had Elizabeth, when she came out and she had her hand up,
I said, please. I was saying please because see, I was saying please, who's these people? What have I stepped into? And I had heard, you know, that Tanya wanted me. That she had begged for me to be there. And I always reminded her that, you know what, I'm here now. You wanted me and you got me. I'm here. I'm here. I said, and you know, and like I said is that so when you see her, you gonna see me.
What is your favorite thing on the
on the trip?
Yeah.
I don't know. That bed was lumpy too.
Oh Lordy.
Oh, but yeah. Well, I liked the plays. I liked the food when we got away from the fair.
Yeah.
I liked the food when we got away from there. I liked the animals. They were pretty, some of them. And I liked it that. But I tell you that they need to do something about the size of these beds too, because Latonya had her own bed and I had to share my bed. I had to share my bed. I was excited about sharing my bed with my mom. I was. And I'm saying I was excited about sharing the bed. But she would get it when she got in that bed. You know, there was so much space. You know what a queen size looked like. And Mama was eating up half the queen because she got in that bed, y'all, and she turned sideways. So I had like this little bit of corner of the bed. And so I was like, by the time I got done doing what I was doing, because I'm a late person. So by the time I got done doing whatever I was doing, you look 1 minute, she messing with a crossword puzzle, then she reading the Bible. I mean, she done went through a series of things. Mama got everything in she wanted to do. Mama done ate a snack and everything else, and I'm still moving around in the room and stuff. Then finally, when Mama got comfortable and she turned, Mama wasn't trying to move. And so I'm like, and I look over that Tanya, got her neck pillow and stuff, and I said, oh man. I'm like, this bed ain't big enough. And I said, I'm gonna get a little corner. And Lord, like I said, if somebody get comfortable, don't bother. I was like, Mama, now you know this is not half of the bed. She like, you better get on somewhere. I'm tired. Like, you better get on. Like, look what I done told you. And I'm like, I mean, that bed was not big enough for us too. I think next time, we got to roll in one of them ones that you let out, and somebody gonna have to flip for that. Won't be me, but somebody gonna have to flip for the let out. But that's one of my favorite things was seeing the animals. I think those ones called meerkats or something other. They was pretty. They remind me of Balin. They remind me of our dog. And then I like seeing the chimpanzees. They ain't smell so good, but they was pretty. And yeah, I liked it there. I didn't see no lions. Even they thought it was too hot. I'm looking at some of them. I said, y'all very smart, because it's hot out here. The people like, come on here. They look like Mufasa and them didn't come out. They said, y'all got to be crazy. I'm not coming out in this heat. We ain't see Nala, we ain't see Simba, we ain't see none of them. I saw them hiding in the cave. They said, it's hot, I'm not coming out. And so the thing about it is that, yeah, that's basically what I remember that I think was pretty good. What did you like about the trip? Since you planned it.
They were alligators.
Oh, I ain't like that now. Them alligators.
She got to look at how short the gate was, and she like, can they come out of here up to this gate part?
There was nothing protected with them alligators at. No, but let's see. I really enjoyed the plays. If I could have fit more, and I packed a whole bunch of things in a day. And if I wanted to go like to a basketball game or something like that, or a music museum and things like that, just couldn't get to it because of the vehicle. What happened with that? But one of the highlights would have to be the Broadway plays. I always wanted to go to at least one. I managed to get 2 in. So I did that. And I liked the Italian pizzeria. I liked the carrot cake and the catfish and everything. Not so much, but I just enjoyed just whether it didn't go the way I wanted it to go with different things that we went and did. I just enjoyed just being around my mother and sister, because that's really what it was about. I was snapping a lot of pictures and catching a lot of moments, because these are the things that you're going to remember. Now, some of it is very funny, and some of it wasn't so funny at the time, but
not funny now neither.
It's things that you will remember, and I think that was kind of important to me for this trip, is that regardless, to try and do something new. I didn't want to do anything that we typically would do. on a regular day. So any trips that I plan, which I plan on going like maybe like Maine or what do you call that? Vancouver. So I'm going big this time, ferries and up in the air and over the mountains and everything. So you know, I like to explore and get out there and try different things because you know, I don't like doing the same things. You know, this way it gets everybody out there to do something.
Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Well, we'll just see how that turn out. But one of these days, I'm going to arrange something. And I'm gonna have like the best trip ever because it won't involve sweating. It won't involve heat. It won't involve nasty food. It won't involve me being lifted off the ground by sitting there. Because I could see if I was getting on something and going across it, and I'm gonna get on across. But sitting there for hours on a balcony in the air, no, that's not me. But if I can get to a basketball game,
Yeah,
I would
like
love to do
try
that. I love to go to a basketball game. I'd even like to go to a hockey game as long as I'm way up there away from the glass because nobody's gonna hit me with that hockey puff.
Yeah.
And I'm not really interested in no baseball. Not except I ain't interested in baseball. I would like maybe the Peanuts.
So there's
Popcorn, stuff
there's
like
just
that,
a
but
lot of things that we would like to do.
Yeah.
And I think
Oh.
this trip helped us, you know, realize that you have to do more things.
Yeah, it really did. It really did help us to see that, you know, it was a different dynamic than us going somewhere as a family, you know, because typically when we went to places, we all went as a family, or it was just me and Latonya. And so now it was us and our mom. And then before that, we went on this trip with our dad. And so it just get more interesting and more interesting. But before we go, Mom, what was a highlight, you know, about being a mother that you can remember, you know, with us? What's like from when we were a child on to up to now? What's like memories that stick in your mind like now that we're grown? We don't talk about our age, but you know, now we're grown.
The memory that they got is how God had blessed me to teach you guys when you were little. Because some of that I taught you, I didn't really know. But God told me how to do it.
But I wouldn't have known that you ain't know because I mean, you taught me how to spell, and I was the best speller in my class. I was in the spelling bee and all kind of stuff, and I always got read good grades and stuff.
Got awards for all those things.
And you, Latonya, you learned how to write your name when you was like, dang, probably like 1.5. And you were the best speller. You were the grade 8 student. Y'all were grade 8 student. Spelling, you know, you spelled really good.
That must have been straight 8 when I was younger, way when I was a little wee kid. Cause you know, when I got up in them grades, got up in the grade school and stuff, they was some things I just didn't grasp. But at least, you know, it was like math and stuff. It got out of my element.
I got one more thing to say. I would say, as being a mother also, when God bless you with some kids, make sure you always give them back to him. I gave them back to him, and God have blessed them with who they are right now today because I gave them back. And that's how you end up having a good family. You got to give them back to God and let him be the one to lead them.
Yeah, that's totally true. Is that our mother she definitely did help educate us a lot, and that helped us all the way up to doctorate school. And then
and I can remember when we was kids that when our dad was in the military and he be either working or overseas, that our mom would walk us down that long road to school. We never took the bus. Our mom believed in, you know, having that time to talk to us all the way to school. We had breakfast, she got us up. We had our breakfast and all that stuff like that. We got ready to go. We was out the door, walked all the way down there. And when I say that, you know, she did this every day. Walked us to school, came back, picked us up, standing in the hallway on time to pick us up. And you know, I can just remember us standing out there waiting. And you know, when I was a kid, I was afraid about that because you know, she walking, this little short lady walking all the way back home down the street. And I'm just like, you know, and we was only African Americans in the neighborhood. So that was scary to me. Like, okay, my mama walking all the way back down the street to there, and then she walking all the way back to pick us up. And so that was just interesting. I also remember when we was growing up that not only did you be in the hallway when we come out, if a teacher had a report to give about something other, whether good or bad, she was standing right out there to pick us up. And she was in the hallway. She wasn't out there where the car was. She wasn't out there where you come out of there and you could walk on home. No, she was right there when you come out the classroom. Like some kids, they get away with everything. But if I so much as cracked a joke, that teacher gonna tell on me. For the end of the day, Elizabeth said this. Elizabeth did this. Elizabeth went to sleep. Elizabeth didn't want to do this. I mean, they catch her. Like, look, I know that, you know, Elizabeth is a good kid. But Elizabeth, she liked to talk. Elizabeth liked to talk and, you know, and this and that. They catch her. Any little thing and stuff. And so, you know, you couldn't get away with nothing. But my mama, she would come and she'd eat lunch with us. I remember that. She come there, eat lunch with us. She buy even other students, they get lunch too. She be sitting there doing lunch with Burger King, McDonald's, all pizza, whatever. She was there. My mama was at the school so much, y'all, that when I got middle school, she had a job. I looked up, she was in my classroom. She was sitting there, she was my teacher's assistant. I looked up, I'm like, Mama, what you doing in Miss Jill's class? I gotta be looking around. Don't crack no jokes in here. Don't be playing around in here. And cause she was there. And so she was there helping the teacher. She was the teacher assistant. I look up, she in the principal's office. She was this there. And so she was able to get to you quick.
Yeah, she I think some of our memories, we did a lot of reading. She bought a lot of books, and we walked to the library a lot. We was constantly in there, so we was fast learners. So we learned very early, you know, how to read, how to spell and write and things like that. And it helped us so that, you know, later on in life that it's not a difficult thing, you know, to do all that reading.
And how that's the thing is that I always wondered is that what made you do all those things, you know, when we was kids, start all those things off early, walking us, taking us to the library and stuff, because later on that became a big part of what we would do, going library, going places and stuff. And everywhere we looked up, you know, there was some kind of activity or something. So what made you do those things, and what was you trying to help us to understand as we were growing up?
I think my mom did that with me. She walked us long, I mean, like miles and miles and miles. She walked all of us like that, and we went places and stuff like that. And so when I had y'all, I started doing that too. I started doing it too, and I loved it doing it. I loved it doing it because I loved it reading books also. So by me loving reading books, it was easy for me to just take you to the library or go here or go there. And, you know, I thank God now today that happened, because now you guys love doing it. You love doing it also. But yeah, it was, I really enjoyed it.
And I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed the food we ate, y'all.
Oh yeah, because she get in the car when it hit the weekend. See, my mom, she ain't play about you not doing your homework and nothing like that. You had to have all that done for the weekend, and that was the same thing with our dad. It had to be done. You weren't going anywhere. And that wasn't based on friends or nothing like that. That was the root. You not going to watch TV. You not going to do nothing till that work's done. They were going to ask about that work. You be sleeping. Did you do that work? And they made sure we had our work done and stuff. But when it hit the weekend, you knew have everything done because you're going to Hastings or you're going to Blockbuster. You're going to get some pizza.
Bowling, a diner.
Yep, you're going to bowling. You're going to the old-fashioned diner. You're going to the movies. You're going somewhere, and you packing up and you going for the weekend somewhere. You just knew, but let that work not been done. And see where you've been going. See where you've been going. Somebody been asking you about what you do on the weekend. Work. You did work and your chores and all that stuff. Like I said, is that my when we got home, there was the rules. You go to school, you got work, you do it. You do it, then you do them chores. Make sure your room clean, make sure everything else taken care of and stuff. And then you can watch TV. They didn't care what was coming on the television. If it wasn't done, you weren't gonna see it. And they wasn't no DVR. So you didn't do it.
Can't record that.
They had blank tapes back then, but who really did all that work? We didn't do all that. You weren't even gonna touch that VCR if you did. So what? You missed it. You just missed it. But they made sure that we stayed on it. So when we got older, it wasn't something that was hard for us to do because you had that mentality that look, I gotta get this done. I can't go do this. This is not important. What's important is this right here. My work, Jesus first, work, homework, all that stuff. All that stuff fell in line after Jesus. And then whatever else you want to do, then you just fit that in on where it fit. But I just really remember, in growing up, that we were really taught well. And I remember our mom telling us all these different stories and stuff when we were growing. My mom would read stories to us, and she'd also share about her life because my mom, she wanted us to know, that hey, you're this age, you're that age. I mean, own up. Mama had a story. Mama had a story for everything. She had a story about hair. Don't you go to sleep because something gonna happen. Mama had a story about everything. And Lyle says that taught us because there wasn't really nothing that we couldn't ask our parents. We didn't really have to ask them nothing because Mama was always sharing, and my daddy, he started sharing later on because, he's in the military, but just always had some story. And you're like, did this really happen? And be like, yeah, it did. Now this is why I'm telling you this because you better keep this in mind what I just said. And so that really helped us. And I remember even as a kid on up to college years that if I was having a hard day or a hard time, that my mama was up. Sometimes I just be up crying because somebody done said something or did something, and I just look up because I done slid out of the bed and went down in the kitchen, was just thinking about what happened. Because my mom and them always ask you what happened in school day. You couldn't just say it was good. They had them open-ended questions. What happened in school today? And if you said, no, nothing much happened in there, but you knew somebody did something. And she would know, and I just tinks on up out of bed, go on down the hall and stuff. And next thing I know, there's Mom in the kitchen. And she just like, what's wrong? And I said, well, this one here said this or whatever and stuff like that. And my mama, she had an answer for everything about friends or anything that was going on. I could just remember that if you was sitting up and you had to do work and when we get on doing some work, don't want to go to bed and nothing like that, want to get these things finished. And I just remember her just sitting up, just look up and you see her sitting there. She go get her blanket and stuff and she just be sitting there watching after us, So I can remember those things and and we can thank you for that because like I said is that really helped us. A lot of mothers, they don't watch after their kids or they don't take out time, talk to them or nothing like that. So we just happy about that because now even as adults, we still come talk to you in between commercials. but we can talk to you. It's easy to talk to you at any time. What do you think, Tony? Before we go, Mama. About Mama, I said I was just thanking Mom about everything. You know, Mom was the type of person that you looked up. Mama was there.
Yeah, she was very hands-on and very involved in everything. And like I said she was a big part of us being educated and being equipped at a very early age before getting into the school system, which helped us out a lot. And even young, like I said, we went to a lot of libraries a lot, and she said, get a book. And a lot of those books, it wasn't just anything, y'all. It was things that can educate you, learn something new. So my thing, a lot of it, when I went to the library, I liked to get cookbooks. So I learned how to cook and bake and things like that at an early age, which that was something that she did a lot. Did a lot of baking and cooking, and so I just watched that over time, and then kind of took over the baking as I got a little bit older. But yeah, very much
hands-on, like
very
you
much
said.
hands-on,
That
present.
cooking and stuff. Yeah, I can remember you watching Mom cook, and she made cakes and all those things like that. They didn't fall down to me. I didn't get that skill, but I do remember specifically that one time I said, Mama, I said, I would like to have some chicken and some French fries. And my sister, she was at school or work or one of them, but my mama was home. And I said, that sure would be good. And she said, it sure would. Said, when you going in there and cook it? And I was like, I said, I'm not putting no pan on the stove with no grease and nothing. I ain't chopped up no French fries or put no batter on no chicken. She said, well, it's a good time to learn. I said, Ma, you gonna do me like that? She said, yeah, go on in there. And she told me go on in there. And let me tell you that once I went in there and I done that, she said that was the best chicken and French fries that she ever had. She wanted to know what I put on that. But that helped me. I think that you was more so one-on-one. Look, you gonna learn today. Oh, why you do that? I wanted some chicken.
Because I wanted y'all to know how to cook, because there's a lot of young folks out there that don't know how to cook and take care of themselves. And I figure like this, if you know how to cook and you know, clean and everything else that you're supposed to do, you learn from your parents, you'll know how to take care of yourself.
And that's true. Me, I knew it clean because my stuff was clean.
That's true. A lot of things that was taught to us at an early age, it helped us to understand how to take care of yourself, the value of money. You know, cooking, cleaning, and all these things. You know, you don't want to depend on somebody to think somebody would do that for you. So you want to know how to do it on your own, because a lot of females, they don't know how to cook for themselves. They don't know what it is to clean anything. so there's a lot of things, a lot of people depend on things, and we very independent. And was taught to be independent and take care of those things, you know, not to wait on somebody to do that, like a piece of chicken. You know, that was a lesson learned, y'all, because that, hey, I ain't cooking that chicken. So there's a lot of things, there's a lot of lessons in those things, because I look at it as is that if you hungry, you're gonna learn how to cook something.
Yeah, because after that, I went and I never asked it again. I went and got it. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to fix this, or I'm going to do that. And I think that's what allowed, you know, me to become a good cooker. You know, a good cook. You know, just getting you know, out of that phase of, hey, somebody gonna always be here to do this. If you thinking that kind of mentality, it's really gonna hurt later on down the road, because everybody's not gonna be there cleaning up after you. Nobody's gonna be there cooking your food all the time. You have to do something. And it's not okay, I gotta get in the gear of survival mode. It's about learning it. You know, never too old to learn.
We definitely have a short
and not only that, how you're going to take care of your own family if you don't have those values instilled in you or know how to do something. If you don't know how to do it, when you have kids, they're not gonna know how to do nothing. They're gonna stand around and wait on you.
No, no, they ain't. They gonna learn how to cook.
Yup, Carmel do them just like you. Mama, I want some chicken. Here's a bag. Here's the seasoning. And there's the fry cutter. Go on. Go on. I'll watch you as you put that grease in there. Go on ahead. You got it, baby.
I think we also, like I said, for our mother, she ran her own business and with the military and things like that. And then our dad, he worked multiple jobs, including being in the Army. So we understood what it is to work and the value of money and
that you could go out here and create your own businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that work ethic. So they weren't raising anybody lazy or no bums, as my dad would say. He said, I ain't raising that. You're gonna get out here and educate yourself and work a job and take care of yourself. So they didn't play that, and that's helpful because there are a lot of people that do that don't do anything for themselves. They think that it's owed to them, and it's just not a good life to think.
And they don't value the lessons or anything that their parents teach them, or their parents try to help them. They like, I'm grown. I know what I'm doing and stuff. I don't have to listen to you and you didn't teach me nothing. Well, they taught you something, whether it was good teaching or it was bad teaching. Everybody learns something, but I'm just thankful for having the good teaching, that taught us how to grow into adult women that have morals and have values and want to do great things out here in life and want to help other people.
So we thank you guys for listening to episode 5, and we're going to go on to episode 6.
That'll be a surprise for y'all. Y'all just tune in and see what that one will be about.
And so we hope that out of all the funniness and jokes and that we talked about, that you guys actually tuck away some things that are helpful in this video. One thing, don't go nowhere where it's bad food, y'all. But
bring yourself a fan too.
But you guys, the one of the important messages out of here is to love your family, spend time with them while you have the opportunity, because when they're gone, you cannot do any of those things. And also parents, raise your kids up in the right way. Give them those lessons so that they don't have to learn it out here, and they know what to do when they encounter those things. So we hope that something has inspired you or motivated you or touched you or whatever in this video. And we wish you a happy Sunday, and we'll see you in episode 6.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
As another powerful episode comes to a close, we want to thank you for joining us on this transformative journey. If these stories have touched your heart and inspired your faith, don't miss out on future episodes. Subscribe to the IMU Ministries Live on your favorite podcast platform and stay connected with us. Together, let's continue spreading the love of Christ and making a difference.